Unbiased, fan-friendly Syracuse sports coverage on WSKO Syracuse. A Cumulus media station, the voice of the Central New York sports fan, The Score, 1260. Welcome to your home for local sports in Syracuse. Outside the Box Score with Mark Rowlands starts right now.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Outside the Box Score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260. I'm very pleased to be joined, as I usually am, by Josh Boheim.
Howdy.
How are we doing, Josh?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Doing well. Glad to have you back. And some would say even more pleased to be joined. Sorry, Josh.
Oh, I get
by a good friend of the program. He's been on the show before. He's called into the show before. And he's back, the one, the only Pat Burke.
What's up? How we doing?
Great to have you two in studio today. And it's a very fitting show to have both of you on. Josh, of course, is our tennis guy.
Hey.
We've got the start of the U.S. Open on Monday, so we're going to cover that. Pat is one of the biggest Notre Dame football fans that I know.
We love that.
And Notre Dame's kicking it off against the Navy midshipmen in the motherland, Ireland, today. 2:30 kickoff for that one. So we're going to get into all that. I'm going to have you in a little bit tell me why you think the Irish are going to be good this year.
I'm down.
Or first of all, do you think the Irish are going to be good?
Yeah,
this year?
Irish could be a lot better than they were last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want you to break down the season for the Irish, and we're going to talk about a lot of college football in general. It is week 0. Today is the start of the college football season.
Go.
It's an exciting time. I usually don't get into full college football mode until like week 2. Personally, week 0, I'll watch a bunch of the games, but that's when I start to really get into the college football mood and really start getting into it. So we're going to talk a lot about college football today. Like I said, we're going to talk a lot about tennis. I also actually will start the show with this because I think it's a very interesting topic of conversation. I've talked to a few different people about this and gotten different responses, and I want to get your guys' take on this. Pat would know this. Here in Syracuse, we sort of adopted Steven Strasburg.
Oh, because of his run with the Mets?
Because,
Syracuse
Mets, the Chiefs at the time.
Yep.
Because he played for the Chiefs. He made 3 stints here in 2010, 2011, and 2015. The last 2 were rehab assignments. And so he's been, adopted as a Syracuse baseball guy. And with his retirement this week, the question that came to my mind and a lot of people's mind was, did Steven Strasburg meet expectations? This is a guy that, coming out of college, was dubbed the next Nolan Ryan. He was a guy that really had very unrealistic expectations coming out of college. Tony Gwynn said he was the best thing since sliced bread. Gwynn, of course, was his head coach at San Diego State. And it's everyone was calling this guy the next great right-handed pitcher. And when healthy, he was fantastic. He was truly one of the better pitchers in baseball when healthy. We got 2 200-inning seasons out of him in his entire career.
He's kind of like a step below DeGrom to me. That kind of guy who, everyone knows when DeGrom's fully healthy and on, he's the best pitcher in baseball, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Strasburg, his rookie year and that first year, those first 2 years are really the key of him.
The first year, really, 2011 was when he had his Tommy John surgery.
Okay,
so 2010,
yeah,
and then when he came back in 2012.
Yeah, I mean, he was dominant. Strikeout stuff, he really was a stud pitcher. It's just those injuries, man, that I don't think he could ever, just based on how much he played, expectations were not met.
Okay.
And I don't think so.
Got a ring though. Does it really matter?
True.
You know
That is true. He does have a ring. What do you think? Would you say he lived up to expectations?
I mean, they won a championship, so I would say it doesn't really matter. I mean, because I'm in the thought process or the school of thought. That's what I was trying to say. School of thought that if you win a championship, it really doesn't matter how you get there. You know what I mean? The Rams completely sold out for their Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Now they stink. But it's you got the ring. That's what I want the Bills to do. But we can talk about that in a little bit. but yeah, you know what I mean? It's he had some good seasons. He got paid. Personally, he met every expectation for him.
Yeah.
Got paid. had a couple good years, was definitely up there. Did he win anything ever?
I never won a Cy Young. 4 or 5 All-Star teams, I think. But
yeah, that's a good career.
Some Cy Young votes in 2019, the year they won the World Series. He led the league in innings. I believe led the league in strikeouts. You know.
Well, think about how many top picks like don't pan out.
Well,
like at all.
That's the thing.
You know what I mean? So it's like he won.
I would say Strauss absolutely met expectations strictly because of the history of the number 1 overall pick in baseball.
Yeah.
There are 2 number 1 overall picks in the Hall of Fame. That's it. Ken Griffey Jr. and Chipper Jones.
I was going to say that.
Yeah,
I had it.
They're the only 2.
I had it.
And then you look at guys that Brady Aiken a few years ago was the number 1 overall pick, left-handed pitcher. Mark Appel was the number 1 overall pick. Mark Appel finally made it to the big leagues like last year as a reliever for the Phillies, but never panned out to be anything. Mark Appel, I don't think ever pitched in the big leagues, and he's out of baseball now.
Do you think Strasburg was the first, like, he was still in a section of people that got instantly called up, basically? Like, he only spent, 1 year in the minor system and, like, doing that whole ramp up?
Yeah.
Do you think now it's changed, basically, where people we talk about all the time now, like, draft picks, you're lucky to get in the league in your first 3 years, really.
Well, didn't the Angels just call up a guy that they drafted this year?
Yeah, he drafted. He played 21 minor league games.
Yeah, so it's like
I hate that. I understand why they do it. Give a guy a chance to develop. All of a sudden, you call this guy up to the big leagues, and he's 21 years old, which, a lot of rookies are 21 years old nowadays. Sure. Those are the guys that spent 3 years in the minors because they were drafted out of high school or an international signing.
Yep.
So they get a chance to develop in the minor leagues. This guy, if he fails this year or next year, if he's their starting first baseman, it's going to ruin his confidence.
You know what, though? No, you go.
I was just saying, like, I feel like guys like Strasburg, though, we see who get pushed up so far, and then they get the injuries. Maybe they're not used to throwing at that high level for so long throughout a season that, that's why these things happen. So, I mean, just a victim of circumstance kind of for him, where, like, he was dominant, but maybe more time to ramp up to that success would have been beneficial.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was always kind of a thing about him too, is his I remember like when he was coming out of San Diego State, there was something with his throwing style that wasn't sustainable.
It was too across his body.
Yeah, exactly. The way he's falling on me. The way he threw the ball just like wasn't sustainable for him. And he was just always going to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just always a matter of like how are we gonna get the most out of this guy at the highest possible point. And they did. So
the thing is,
everybody's happy.
The thing is, after his Tommy John surgery in 2011, he did change his motion.
Yeah.
He stopped throwing nearly as across his body as he used to.
Right.
And while that ended up being beneficial in terms of his elbow was fine, he never had another elbow problem. All of a sudden, now it's his neck, it's his back. It's the injury that took him out was thoracic outlet syndrome, which is a death sentence if you're a pitcher.
Yeah.
If you get that, your career is essentially over.
Yeah.
Same thing happened to Matt Harvey. It's the exact same injury that Matt Harvey had. And Harvey, obviously, his career ended for other reasons.
Yeah.
But that was the one that stopped him from being the Dark Knight anymore.
Yeah.
And so it is really a shame. I compared Strauss the other day to Felix Hernandez in the sense that I think in 10 years, people are going to forget exactly how good this guy was.
Yeah.
And I think that's a shame.
Yeah.
Because Felix Hernandez, I maintain, when Felix Hernandez was at his peak, I haven't seen 10 better pitchers.
Yeah. You just said Harvey. Harvey was the same way, too. Like, when Harvey was good, Harvey was, like, far and beyond the best pitcher in baseball.
Yeah.
Harvey was awesome for, like, a year and a half.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It was a year and a half instead of, Felix, it was 8.
Yeah.
But people aren't going to remember because he was out in Seattle. The team stunk.
Right.
The thing he's most notable for is being the first guy to win a Cy Young with like 11 wins.
Yeah, I remember that.
He went 11-10 with like a 2.3 ERA, and Seattle just stunk. But he won the Cy Young that year. The mold for Jacob deGrom.
Right.
I mean,
that's where sports are not kind to people who are on bad teams when you're in these big team sports like that.
Yeah.
A guy like Felix Hernandez, who you're right, was an absolute stud for nearly a decade, is forgotten because his team was bad.
Yeah.
But it's kind of on them. I kind of think about it's like Trout's never going to win anything because he's never going to beat the Angels. And it's like, that's fine. Like, great. But it's also like, I mean, you could go anywhere you wanted. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to sign an extension. You might be offered the most money there, but it's like, You can move on.
I mean, he already
go.
signed. It was what, that 11-year deal,
right? And it's like, yes, obviously take the money, but like other people are going to give you that money, and like you're going to have a shot to win something.
Yeah.
And it's like Ohtani's going to be the same way. If Ohtani doesn't leave, that's on him.
He's leaving.
Yeah.
There's no way he re-signs with the
You
Angels.
can kind of already see it with Trout, though, right? I mean, he's the afterthought on that team right now.
Yeah.
To Ohtani. I mean, he has been, and he's just not that type of guy. Like, he's very private. He wants to go live in Montana on a thing with his trucks and whatever. I mean, he's just not a big publicity guy.
The most publicity he gets is when he goes to Eagles games.
Yeah.
Like, really, they show him every single time he's at a Birds game. Yeah. He's from New Jersey and a big Eagles fan. So, but that's always been like his time in the spotlight is the 30 seconds he gets during a Philadelphia Eagles game.
And that's tough for baseball because it's like,
it's very tough for baseball
because it's like they don't really have a marketable star. I mean, they're really trying to push Aaron Judge right now because like obviously Aaron Judge rules.
Plays for the Yankees. He's the captain. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like hit all the home runs last year or whatever. But it's also like, is he like the most interesting person ever? Probably not. You know what I mean? Like think about like, I don't know, like LeBron's interesting. I mean, who's football? Like, Josh Allen's interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, what are we doing? So it's like having Mike Trout like be an afterthought in his team right now. It's like kind of really bad for baseball.
Yeah.
But it's also not his fault because Ohtani is just such a unicorn.
We've never seen anything like it.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yes, he's an afterthought, but it's also like, but this is like a special circumstance. You know what I mean?
It should be, the two of them should be in every baseball related commercial. Yes. Every baseball commercial should have Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani.
Yep. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In baseball, they tried to get better at marketing their stars, and they chose the wrong guy. They chose Fernando Tatis Jr. Then all of a sudden, he gets into the motorcycle accident, and then he's suspended for steroids. Yeah. And they just happened to choose the wrong guy, so then they scrambled. Yeah. But he was the guy that was everywhere.
Well, for years, people complain that the MLB doesn't push stars, but their stars don't care to be pushed sometimes. Like you're talking about Trout, like they're just not larger than life personalities. I think we've talked about this before with like individual sports sometimes. Yeah. Like tennis players and stuff are really quiet, keep themselves, golfers, same thing. Some baseball stars are just like that. They do their own thing. They come to work every day. You know, I'm going to go hit whatever. And they just don't care to be on TV every night.
Yeah. I mean,
they're playing a game.
It's like in football, that was always the difference between Brady and Rodgers.
Yeah.
Was Rodgers is so out there and he always finds the camera. And of course, Brady's going to be a broadcaster now, which I still don't think is a good idea.
It's a weird move.
Giving him that much money, I don't think he's going to be very good. He doesn't have a personality.
I would love to get money for not having a personality.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I would love that.
$30 million. I'd do whatever.
I'll take 30.
I'll have no personality.
I'll take 30,000.
I'll take $30. You buy me lunch. You know.
Jim asks an interesting question: should baseball teams almost treat pitchers like running backs?
No.
I agree.
No.
Yeah.
Because you go. Sorry.
Well, I was just we were talking about this on the Manchild show the other day. It seems like that's the way it's going, and I don't like it at all. Because how we had a discussion, and I'll ask you guys this: who was the last pitcher that just didn't get hurt?
Garrett Cole doesn't really get hurt.
Yeah, he has spent time on the IL before, though.
Yeah,
and
but everybody does.
Yeah,
so
but like I'm talking about a guy that every single year, he's making 35 starts, and he's throwing 220 innings.
They were literally talking about somebody the other day. Yeah, I don't know.
I have an answer.
Who that?
It's Mark Burley.
Okay. Yeah. He's
he had 14 consecutive years of 200 innings.
Big boy.
And but he's the last example. Another one, Cincinnati Reds, Bronson Arroyo was the same way.
That guy could deal, and he just day in, day out.
And so, but it just doesn't happen really anymore. Cole is a good example because he does usually, go out there. Yeah. But even Verlander, Scherzer, DeGrom, like you mentioned, is always hurt. These guys everyone's getting hurt all the time for starting pitchers. And that makes me seem like, Cole signed that, what was it, $324 million deal?
It's been a good deal.
It's been a pretty solid deal.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to see that for pitchers much more. I think we're going to see a lot more of the Verlander Scherzer deals.
2 years, big money.
Here's 3 years and $120 million.
I think teams should do that more often for anybody.
Absolutely.
It's like, why not? It's like you're giving, like, I understand having like long-term stability or whatever, but if like I was a major league free agent, if somebody came up to me and they're like, listen, we'll offer you 10 years, $300 million, or we'll give you 280.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like 2 years, $80 million. It's like, I mean, hey, then it's like, say it doesn't work out, you're still walking away with $80 million.
Well, yeah, unless you're getting Braves deals where you're signing these guys for 8 years for $75 million, it's not worth the long-term stuff.
And Jim says those 2-year deals only work for 40-year-olds. It wouldn't. I maintained that the contract the Yankees should have given Aaron Judge last year was 4 years, $200 million. Give him $50 million a year, but I don't think a 6'7", 280-pound right fielder is going to age very well because there's been one that did. The rest of them all fizzled out in their 30s. Dave Winfield's the only guy that lasted. So that was the deal. If I was Brian Cashman, I would have gone to Aaron Judge and said, here's $50 million a year. You will be easily the highest paid player in baseball, and then you can sign another deal after that if you're still good.
Yeah, but he's also the captain. You know what I mean? Like he got the money for other reasons. You know
well,
what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
of course.
It's not only ability and like durability or whatever. It's also just like he is like the superstar in New York.
He's the face of your franchise.
No, I totally
he's the
get
biggest sports star in New York.
I totally understand why they gave it to him. But that was my thought process of if I'm a GM, that's the type of deal I'm going to offer a guy like that.
Yeah.
And Jim says Judge isn't the pitcher. It doesn't matter. Like we said, I think those deals should happen for everybody.
Yeah.
The days of the Albert Pujols 10 and 240 from the Angels should be gone.
Yeah.
I think, the pitcher talk, the first question you brought up.
Yeah.
It's all fun and games in the regular season because pitchers kind of don't matter necessarily. Like if they miss a start or whatever happens. But come playoff time, they are the most important player.
You need a horse.
Your starting pitcher is the most important player. If you got 3 guys who can go on a 3-man rotation and dominate the playoffs, you're better than any other team. Those Dodgers years when they competed constantly, it's because they had Kershaw and Scherzer that one year, and that year they were stacked. Urias was really good, and one other. But like you just get workhorses.
The Astros.
The Nationals that year too.
The Nationals that year. It was Scherzer, Strasburg, and Corbin when Corbin was really good.
Shout out Pat Corbin.
Shout out Patty Corbin.
Pat Corbin, defender, pretty good this year.
He's gotten a lot better.
He's got a couple of bad outings.
Yeah. Early in the year he stunk, but he's gotten a lot better in recent months.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you look at any team that wins the World Series, even the 2018 Red Sox.
Yeah.
It was Chris Sale. They don't always have to be the biggest names. They just have to step up. It was Chris Sale and Nate Eovaldi, who was an absolute workhorse for that team in the playoffs. Like, those are the teams, like you said, the starting pitcher is the most important player on the team in the playoffs.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Eovaldi's had a very underrated career.
He worked his tail off to get that Texas contract.
He's been great in Texas this year,
too. With the Yankees. People forget he was a Yankee for a little bit, too, and he was awesome. I won like 25 games as a Yankee one year.
No, like that. That's not how that works.
I swear to God.
No one's won 25 games in 30 years.
20 games, excuse me.
No, he didn't win 20.
Why'd you look it up?
I will. You're thinking of the year Domingo Germán won 18.
No, I'm not. I promise you. Eovaldi had like one really good year with the Yankees.
Oh, well.
Here we go. Baseball reference. Let's do
pull it up. I don't know. I don't remember this.
He went 14 and 3.
Great radio. Well, 1 year.
Yeah, and the next year he went 9 and 8 with a 4.76. He wasn't good with the Yankees.
Oh, well.
He went 14 and 3, which is a really .824 winning percentage, but he had a 4.2 ERA.
4.2 is good these days.
Hey,
good 4.2. That ain't bad.
Yeah, but
it's average.
It's average. Yeah. It's just, yeah. That's if you were Judge, would you take 5 for 200 or 9 for 360? You take the 9 for 360, obviously, but I'm just saying. My entire thought process was that's the way these should go. It's not the way they're going, but if I'm a GM, that's the way I would operate.
It's more team friendly in this side. Obviously, the player wants more money, more years, more security. But from a team aspect, you get the most out of your guy. You can pay him more for that, and then not have to deal with him when he gets into those bad years.
Yeah, exactly.
You see, you mentioned Pujols, Votto's living out a contract, 12 years for $40 million that he's not worth it these days.
Josh Hamilton signed one of those. Like,
right? Yeah, they do it all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. State of baseball is weird. And Jim brings up collusion, and all these teams collude constantly.
Here's an unrelated question, but also related. Who do you think is a bigger star in terms of just like status and like whatever goes into being a star? Aaron Judge or Josh Allen?
Oh,
they're both not big in my mind. I think Josh does more media stuff.
Yeah, because he does the golf, he does stuff like that.
There's also the NFL factor too. Though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Like, there's baseball, and there's New York City and whatever, but it's also football is bigger than all.
And it's Josh Allen.
He's up in Buffalo. I mean, it's harder to get more eyes on you, I feel like. So he's got to do more to get that attention.
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost easier to get eyes on you up in Buffalo because, like, I mean, let's be honest here.
Nobody
We're
else
all in upstate New York. I love the Bills,
Yeah.
obviously, big Bills fan. But like,
Mhm.
I mean, what else is going on? You know what I mean? It's like
Yep.
not much. I mean, not much is going through Buffalo. It's not the metropolis. You know what I mean?
True.
So it's like, I mean, yeah, it's obviously hard to get eyes on you, but it's like, I mean, all the games are on TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everybody
here,
sees
at
Josh Allen. Yeah.
And
nationally, though, I'm thinking it's a little bit harder for Allen over. I mean, until the Bills got good in the last.
Yeah,
couple
it
years,
went-
be impossible.
like when
Right
Allen
now.
was a rookie,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it was just who's this guy up in Buffalo, but
Right.
he's
Yep.
become, sort of he's one of the faces of the NFL.
Yeah, he really they covered Madden.
That's right. I forgot he was
Madden,
the cover of
yeah.
Madden this year. All right, so we're going to take a timeout. We still got a lot to talk about. Phone lines open the entirety of the show, by the way, 315-671-1260. If you want to call in, that's 315-671-1260. We'll be right back here on Outside the Box Score with me, Mark Rowlands. If you're a fan of local craft beer, the only place you need to go is Myers Creek Brewing Company with 16 brews on tap at both the Cazenovia and Inner Harbor locations. Myers Creek has the best selection of locally brewed libations in all of central New York. Want a nice hazy IPA? The Velvet Fog is a must-try. More of a traditional Pilsner, how about the Floatin' On By? And for you sour drinkers, the It Takes Blue to Mango. So crack open a cold one with the official beer of Outside the Box Score, Myers Creek.
And that's really my thing. I just like supporting people having fun.
Yeah.
Keith Hernandez said something on a broadcast the other day that was hilarious. Well, I forget what team they were talking about, but he's crapped on the entire organization. The Cardinals. They brought up the Cardinals score like they were looking at it.
Yes.
And he was like, God, they're barely even housing a team over there. They stink. He's like, they are terrible this year. I don't know what's going on in that organization. You're like, just throwing shots. They're not even playing the
I
Cardinals.
love Keith, man. Keith, that booth is so funny.
He is great.
One of my buddies in New York is his mom's dating Keith Hernandez right now.
No.
Yeah, the guy who runs Just Baseball actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Aram.
Does he lay it down?
Outside the Box Score, what's
Does he
Does Keith lay it down?
He definitely does. You kidding me?
He's gotta be.
Twitch,
Jamie,
you think
how's your handle?
Twitch? You guys think Keith Hernandez
get
gets
into the
after
chat.
it? Yeah.
How
Wait, can
old
we
is
swear
he
when it's
now?
on Twitch?
I would prefer if you didn't,
Oh,
but
does laying pipe count? We're on Twitch. It's fine. You
yeah, we're on Twitch, whatever.
guys think Keith Hernandez lays pipe? For sure.
Yeah, he's Keith
The
Hernandez.
phone lines are
He's
open.
giving out more mustache rides in the history of the
All
Celtics.
right.
Dude, oh my God, dude.
All right.
Yo, can you imagine?
My mom watches this show.
Wow.
Where your style comes home.
From local town councils to Capitol Hill, agents who are realtors are standing up for what's right. We're here protecting property rights. Here advocating for the issues that affect our neighborhoods. Here championing fair and equitable housing for all. Because we are realtors, bound by a code of ethics, driven to serve our communities. We're here for it all. Here for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Ray Magliotta here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. What still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260. We're going to jump over to the phone lines. We've got Jamie, the FedEx guy, calling in. What's up, Jamie? He did say that. I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna win more than like 6 or 7, or 6, I would say. But 3 is a little extreme.
Syracuse?
Yeah.
Oh, well, they'll be a little bit better than that.
And yeah, they'll win more than 3 games, but probably 6.
You're talking to alumni here, all right?
This is true. We do have 2 SU alum in the studio right now. Jamie, what do you got on tennis?
Tennis. I know you got the tennis studio, and my question is: the U.S. Open is a fascinating tournament. Federer dominated it from 03 to 08. Nobody could beat the guy.
Mm-hmm.
But ever since then, it's a whole bunch of people win the U.S. Open. It's just fascinating. I was wondering what Josh's thoughts were on that topic.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always fun. Like you said, it's different. A lot of outside winners. Like when you look outside of the top 3 that have won tournaments in the last year, or in the last 10 years, it's all the U.S. Open pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously the on paper chalk is Djokovic and Alcaraz coming up. It's hard to bet about. Every year you think it's like that. Outside shot, you got to root for some Americans, obviously.
Yeah. See, Isner's retiring after?
Yeah, it's Isner's last year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I like him to at least win 1 or 2 rounds. Hopefully.
Yeah,
He's
but
got
that's
a pretty cake round in the first, but he just doesn't have it anymore.
No.
Maybe he comes out and plays really well in the first round, but I'll see. I mean, I'm backing guys like Korda, though. He's a fun American to watch, obviously. He's been a little off this summer, but he should bounce back. I like him on hard court, and Eubanks, too.
Yeah, I really like Eubanks.
Yeah, I'm going with Hubert Hurkacz. He was a semifinalist last week in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I love Hubie. Big server, good mover. He played hard with Alcaraz. He took Alcaraz to 3 sets last
Did he?
week, too. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Beat him?
Yeah, and then Josh, who's your Mount Rushmore tennis? Are you I know you're young, but I'm sure you remember the history of the sport. So who's your Mount Rushmore?
Who's my Mount Rushmore? You give me 4 guys. I mean, it's hard to vote against the big 3, and then it's tough.
Who's the number 4 is the real.
Well, yeah, it's not Murray for me. It's probably, honestly, I'm a big Connors fan. I love Connors.
Yeah.
I think the level of competition he was playing against is a little downtrodden for the 70s or whatever, but he was a gamer, dude. He really was. Reading up on him, just a good guy. Played 1 year of college and went right onto it. Just really good. All-time ATP wins leader. Yeah, I'm a big Connors fan. That's who I'd round it out with.
Okay, my top 4 would have been the big 3. Djokovic 1, Federer 2, Rod Laver 3, because they actually won the calendar year slam twice, even though it was back in the day when it was easy.
That is true.
And, and then Nadal would be 4, and then right after Nadal, for 5 would be Sampras.
Sampras, hard to pick against Sampras as well.
True. Yeah, good 4.
Yeah, got anything else, Jamie?
No, that's it. Have a good week, fellas. And Mark, good luck Monday night, dude.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Talk to you soon, Jamie.
Bye.
There he is, Jamie the FedEx guy calling in. He's always got to get some fantasy football mention in there. How about if you're including women's tennis? Does Serena vault? Just Connors or?
Well, I mean, I don't even know if people are picking Serena over like Martina or Steffi Graf.
Yeah, Jim says Martina and Chrissy in there as well.
Chrissy's a good one too.
Yeah.
I mean, women, it's just like their own thing. I don't know if you'd ever. I mean, well, that sounds bad, but yeah, I don't know if a woman would even go into the top 4 for that. Just because
it's different.
It's different,
yeah.
And honestly, it's almost easier when they're doing to be the best in the sport for a long time. So, like, I mean, Serena, she beat good players like Wozniacki and Azarenka and all these girls that are really good at tennis, but it's just not the same level of, the big 3 beat each other all the time. And they're playing elite talent for a long time. So I just think it's different. But
yeah, I really enjoy the U.S. Open.
It's the most. I mean, bias, obviously, American, whatever. It's the best major.
I think it is.
Australians.
I really like the Australian, but I think the U.S. Open is just the best, man.
It's easiest for us to watch.
Well, that's true.
That's the best. Night tennis at the Open is just incredible. I mean, just even last year, Alcaraz and Sinner play 5 sets.
Yep.
5.5 hours. They go till 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And people complain that then they got to play the next day. I mean, that's tennis.
That's
the
tennis.
That's the tournament for 2 weeks out of the year for this tournament. You go as hard as you can. And it's a I mean, it's a test of everything. It's endurance, not only just playing from, your match, but you got to be ready for the next one. That's how it works.
It's also, there's something about the hard court where
it levels the playing field.
Yeah.
Everyone is the same on hard for the most part. I mean, your clay guys struggle more, but
yeah, they struggle a bit more, but you get the biggest serves.
Yep.
You get it feels like hard court has the most like action.
It's faster.
In it. Yeah,
it's just faster tennis, more winners. It's just it's fun. It's
Yeah.
a more fun environment, and the crowd of the U.S. Open is unrivaled.
Easily the best crowd.
Yeah, I don't want claps and cheers from British people with their tea in their hands.
Yeah.
I want loud. I want somebody up in the grandstands up at the top yelling. You barely hear them just breaking up a point. That's what
you want me in the building.
Yeah, I want
yeah.
umpires going, please, constantly.
Yeah.
People are going
I
crazy.
mean,
People get more.
when was it he made it to the semifinals last year, right?
Foe?
Big Foe?
Yeah.
Yeah. When he won that quarterfinal, I mean, that place just went nuts.
Playing the crowd in any sport is fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, but especially in tennis, you can get them right in your corner. It's really fun to watch when guys turn on each other. Like you can feel the crowd. The hate that people get too from tennis is great too. Medi and Kyrgios, these super villains of the tennis court, is almost just as fun as a good guy.
Yeah, Kyrgios last year at the U.S. Open, I remember, was having a time.
People
dude.
hate him.
I
love it. I've learned to love villains throughout
Yeah.
sports, and him and Medi and these guys, Zverev even. I mean, known abuser, not a great guy.
Yeah.
People hate him, and they cheer against him constantly, and they complain. It's just great. Tsitsipas is another guy who some people really love, some people hate.
Yeah,
Polarizing.
he's very polarizing. I can't stand Nick Kyrgios.
Hate
I don't like him one bit. The whole shtick is just not for me.
I'm a bad boy of tennis.
Yeah. It's just not for me. We are going to take another time out here on Outside the Box Score with me, Mark Rowlands. Phone lines open the entirety of the show. Feel free to call in, talk about whatever it is you might want to talk about. Here on the Score 1260, 315-671-1260. That's 315-671-1260. For the best local beer in Central New York, the only place you need to look is Myers Creek Brewing Company, with 16 different beers on tap at both the Inner Harbor in Syracuse and the Palace that is the Cazenovia location. Myers Creek has something for everyone. Want a bite to eat? Both locations feature a kitchen with delicious pizzas, some of the best wings in Syracuse, and much more. Make sure to check out our friends at Myers Creek Brewing Company, the official bar of Outside the Box Score.
Even putting back a few.
You got a dump button, right?
I'm gonna pull that.
Yeah,
up.
we got a dump button. It's just I
It's
didn't want to say
embarrassing.
it. Yeah.
I've been around it. That's fun.
I
remember
forget
doing
what I
it-
was talking
we're
about even.
dumping.
I was like heated about something. Oh, it was it's the fact that I don't like Kyle Shanahan and think all he does is ruin
That
quarterbacks'
was
careers.
pre-trade that you were
Oh
saying.
yeah, this is pre-trade, and because I was talking about, it's the same thing everywhere. He's labeled this offensive genius and all this stuff. First of all, 49ers have been a better defensive team than offensive the past 4 years.
Yep.
And he's still getting
They're
labeled.
fired up.
Yeah, it
Get them live,
pisses
man.
me off.
Get them live.
Well, all right, we're back.
It's just,
It is.
it's
Crazy.
only because he's young and white. That's the only reason.
Well, it's
And a
cra-
coach's
Play with
son.
Bachelor, dude. Come on.
It's kind of crazy that he loves these game manager quarterbacks. That like Brock Purdy. I get Trey Lance might be bad, but the ceiling of Trey Lance has to be undoubtedly higher than the ceiling of Brock Purdy.
Absolutely.
I disagree with that, to be totally
Really?
honest with you. Only because I feel like in that system, I think the more you can do kind of hinders your ability to function in that offense. It's just it's really cut and paste. Okay, you're making this read and you're throwing the ball here.
True.
Yeah.
We're
Because,
running slants, we're running short
Right.
passes. You don't need to be a hero in that system.
Yeah, you're not the superstar here. Debo and Chris McCaffrey, those are your superstars. George Kittle, you got every weapon in the world.
But even then, why draft the guy? Why? What do you do?
Yeah,
why
well, I mean,
why
yeah.
trade up to
Do
3?
you see the 3 picks that
Yeah.
turned out to be? Yeah, Waddle, Waddle, Micah, and Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
That could have been your team. if
That
you
could have been
would've
your
just
team.
Kept Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Who's the same as Brock Purdy? Brock
Handsome-
Purdy's just a
handsome guy.
younger Jimmy G.
Go Bachelor.
Hammer the SU over 6 wins or gently sprinkle the over. Don't touch it.
No, I don't hate that. To be totally honest with you, I don't hate it.
Jim,
I don't hate it. Jim, let's have a conversation, dude. I don't hate it. I don't hate that. I think they're going to be a lot better than people think they're going to be.
I don't.
Who's running the ball now?
LaQuint Allen,
Yeah.
who has played 1 game and he had 94 yards
Well,
against the
that's 'cause
backups at Minnesota.
They were trying to silence my boy and make sure he wasn't going to be able to go to school. They were trying to take him away from education.
Yeah.
They were. They're trying to take him away from education because he got in a little scrabble.
Wasn't the scuffle after that?
Yeah, it was scuffle. Yeah,
Yeah.
got a little scuffle.
But
Guys
yeah,
can't
it was
fight
after
anymore.
the bowl game, right?
He had a little disagreement with somebody, and yes, it was maybe a bigger disagreement. Whatever. You live and you learn.
It is kind of wild that we still don't really know what happened there.
It makes it sound like maybe something else is going on that
Yeah.
we don't know, but it's fine.
By
We
the
don't
way,
need to know.
the Matt Harvey thing. Was he the Tyler Scraggs guy?
Yeah.
He is? Okay.
Yeah, he
You
was.
said other things. I'm like,
Yeah.
was that him?
Well,
Yeah.
he was also
Well,
just
he didn't
yeah.
he was one of the guys that
Was hooking him up.
sort of got him onto it. He wasn't providing him with it,
Yeah,
but
he was also Playboy Bachelor.
And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, right here on the Score 1260, your home for local sports in Syracuse. We've got Josh Boheim, we've got Pat Burke, we've got a very good show today. Speaking of Pat, it's time.
That is me.
Talk about the Irish.
Let's talk about the Irish, dude.
Got Navy today.
We do. We love the troops, though.
In Ireland. We do love the troops. Big
if you're a
troops
troop,
show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Big troops show. Playing Navy, line's 20.5.
Yeah, that's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points, man.
That's a lot of points.
Notre Dame could win by 2 touchdowns and not even come close to covering.
The over-under is like 49.
Yeah,
which is like,
if the number's that low with a 20-point line, something screams
Did you
fishy
see
to
the
me.
most incredible stat of all time that like Navy in week 1 or whatever
Mm-hmm.
in their first game of the season as a 20-point dog is like 26-0
Yeah.
lifetime?
I did not see
Well,
that.
they got a finicky offense. You know what I mean? So
TikTok
it's like
that's the thing. Like people are talking about, SU plays Army this year.
Yep.
And people expect SU to go in there and win by 30. The Armed Forces Academies don't play real football. You don't know what they're going to do.
But also,
run
like,
the ball down your throat.
they play a tough brand of football too, though.
Yeah.
It's like they're tough kids. You know what I mean?
They're
Like,
really tough.
They're going through a lot.
Some of them.
They're fighting wars. That's really what's going on here. And everybody's like, you're gonna go in, you're just gonna like run all over them. It's like, no, like they're gonna play.
I like Notre Dame to win today.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yes. But it's either like 20.5 is a lot of points.
It's a lot of points. And it's like it's in Dublin, it's raining, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I wouldn't touch the spread, to be totally honest with you. But
Mhm.
like, I don't know, Notre Dame's gonna be pretty good this year, so we'll see what happens. Navy might be good too. Navy's throwing the ball this year. So
Are they?
We'll see. They are throwing the ball. They have a new coach.
Oh, that's right. They do have a new
So
coach.
they're still running the triple option. I was watching game day before I came here.
Yeah.
Still running the triple option, but with the wrinkles is what they
Oh,
it.
wrinkles.
It's like, is that what we're calling throwing
So,
the ball now?
so
What are we doing
they're
here?
gonna throw the ball 12 times instead of 6.
I mean, hey man, like, can you imagine going to Navy and being like, I'm gonna play receiver? You know, it's like, no,
I want to
not.
be a wide receiver
Yeah.
at Navy.
Yeah, have fun playing special teams, brother.
Yeah.
You're a blocker now.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday, and we were just talking about the Armed Forces Academies, and I brought up the SU Army game. He goes, Army's a little different. They'll throw the ball 12, 15 times a game. I was like, yeah, that's essentially like having Peyton Manning if you go to an Armed Forces Academy, that they throw 15 times.
I would love that. Just to like see Peyton Manning, like, well, they should have Caleb Williams go play for a service academy once a year.
Just give him one game.
The Heisman Trophy winner should have to pick what service
Just to
academy
go
wants to go play
dust
with.
some future veterans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Army Navy, top 2 Heisman Trophy finalists go play for Army or Navy.
That'd be fun. That would be,
That'd be great.
or even like get like the last 2 Heisman winners. So
Yeah, okay.
Caleb Williams, and who was it before him? Was it Stroud? Or no, Bryce Young.
Bryce Young, yeah.
Yeah. So just have Bryce Young and Caleb Williams play against each other. Oh,
That'd be so great.
It'd be nuts.
That'd be awesome.
Final score is like 88 to 76.
I'm in a very weird crowd of people that actually love the Army Navy game. I think it's like the best day. I think it's the best game ever.
Are there people that don't like the Army
It's
Navy
not great
game?
football, but it's like fine.
It's-
you know what I mean?
But the Army Navy game isn't about the
You
football.
hate that game. You hate America.
It's
100%.
not. It's not about the football.
Yeah.
It's the pomp and circumstance. It's
Yeah.
the Army Navy game.
Right.
It's the big band
it's-
is on the sideline.
It's the only game on that day. It's it's a total standalone thing. I didn't know there were people that didn't like the Army Navy
I really
game.
want to do Stolen Valor for the game next year, just like full regalia. You know what I mean?
I don't
It's
think you
like,
should do
I
that.
want to do it.
I see where you're going.
I want to get into it. You know how people like dress up in like Santa Claus outfits for Christmas? That is my Christmas. That's what I want to do. So it's like, it's not Stolen Valor if you're supporting it. You know
Probably
what I mean?
easier to be a Navy guy just in general. You put the white thing on.
Hey, just
Yeah.
wear swim trunks.
Mhm.
That's fine.
Just wear swim trunks.
Little captain hat.
Jim says, how about 11.5 first half?
That's better.
Yeah, I
is
like that better.
That is better. Notre Dame is going to be a lot better this year. I think. I mean, they have Sam Hartman from Wake Forest, who's a stud.
Yeah,
So
I
also
really-
handsome guy, handsome fellow.
He is a handsome man. So tell him, like, Sam Hartman, how are his weapons? Like, is Notre Dame's offense going to be high flying this year?
Yeah, they have their offensive line is awesome this year. They have a first round pick in Joe Alt on their team. So they're gonna be a lot better this year. Sam Hartman obviously is like a stud, but like the defense is really the thing that's really like significant. You know what I mean? It's like they took the defensive coordinator Marcus Freeman and they made him the head coach.
Right.
So yeah, the defense is gonna be humming this year. So it's Notre Dame's gonna be great.
Did they replace Kelly, or am I thinking of last year?
They did. Marcus Freeman.
Yeah, Marcus Freeman is the coach.
Marcus Freeman. Yeah. They're great uniforms too. Notre Dame's got some great uniforms. That's
Oh,
really my
some of the
preview for this
best.
season. Yeah.
We got a phone call. We got Pat from Syracuse calling. Something I would expect my co-host here to say, Pat from Syracuse, but the other Pat. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, boys? My name's Pat Sharp. I have a little betting tip for you guys that I want to share with the listener, if you guys are willing to let me talk.
Little betting tip. Go right ahead. I'm always down to hear some betting tips.
Yeah, FanDuel New York. If you go into the app, team to score 1 touchdown and 1 field goal, it's plus 8,500. So $20, 17.20 payout. It's I think it's a clean play. It's a good payout.
Excuse me, your voice sounds awfully familiar. What'd you say your name was again?
Pat the Sharp.
Pat the Sharp.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah. Each team to score 1 touchdown and 1 field goal each half. Bet it, and then you can DM me later and just say thank you.
Yeah. Nice. We love some tips.
Yeah.
That may not have been my brother. That's
definitely your brother, yeah. Connor, right?
That may not be my brother.
I've had him on the show before, and I know how his voice sounds on the phone.
That'd be very funny if it actually wasn't Connor and it was just like somebody.
Yeah, just some guy that sounds exactly like your brother saying his name was Pat.
What bet do we even get from that person?
He said teams to score a field goal and a touchdown
in the first half.
Okay.
Which it was like
he gave us exact how many units to put on it and the payout.
Plus 8,000.
What?
No.
Yeah. The second I heard him say open up the app, I was like, we need to talk to this guy.
Yeah.
Why is it so high?
I
didn't believe those odds.
Yeah, this was some bad radio for a second because when Mark was taking that call, I was flustered.
We were killing it. No,
we were good. Yeah, I was talking about
you were
Marcus
good.
Freeman rules.
Yeah, Marcus Freeman. Interesting.
Another handsome guy too.
A lot of handsome gentlemen.
We're giving props today.
We are giving props. A very kind show.
I'm still befuddled. How is that possible?
Hey, we might be in the money, guys. That's really what what this is.
So I guess we're doing first half, both a field goal and a touchdown.
Teams to score.
Yeah, both teams to score a field goal and a touchdown.
One team, I'm like, how the hell is it plus 8,000?
If you have a lock, you better call me. Listeners, I'm looking at the Twitch camera right now.
He's looking directly into the camera.
And if you're listening on the radio, call me. I'll give you my number.
Pallenberry's in the chat.
Pallenberry is in the chat.
Pallenberry, let's talk about it, dude.
He's probably got something.
Jim from FedEx. What are we betting on today?
Jamie
from FedEx.
He just called.
Jamie from FedEx. I'm sorry, Jamie. I'm sorry. I need these packages.
All right.
We're having fun.
We are having fun. We're also going to take a break. We'll be right back here on Outside the Box Score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse on the Score 1260. If you're a fan of local craft beer, the only place you need to go is Myers Creek Brewing Company with 16 brews on tap at both the Cazenovia and Inner Harbor locations. Myers Creek has the best selection of locally brewed libations in all of central New York. Want a nice hazy IPA? The Velvet Fog is a must-try. More of a traditional Pilsner, how about the Floatin' on By? And for you sour drinkers, the It Takes Blue to Mango. So crack open a cold one with the official beer of Outside the Box Score, Myers Creek.
Somebody called.
Apparently it was not Connor Burke.
Yeah, somebody called and said they were Pat from Syracuse and then gave us a betting tip and sounded exactly like you. Yeah, that's what I thought, too.
The identical voice.
Pat from Syracuse. Okay, thank you, Connor.
Sorry, Pat. Wait, say it again?
What?
Well, I put you on speakerphone. I meant the car would tell me.
No, so somebody called into. See, this is why I think you're lying to me now.
Yeah.
Because you're on speakerphone with Tommy. But somebody called in.
I didn't even know you were on Mark's show.
Oh.
Well, I'm going to the fair with Tommy.
Oh, yeah. Tommy's going to the fair every day.
Every day, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have him on to talk about that. That's white trash.
But each team has scored 1 touchdown and 1 field goal.
Yeah, okay. There we go.
Yeah. All right.
Plus 8,500, $20 to win, 17-20.
I love that, dude. Hell yeah. All right, I got you.
I just texted it to you guys.
Okay.
Thanks,
Hell yeah.
Connor.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you. All right, I'll see you at Hornsler.
Good bet, wrong game.
Guys, we're having fun. This is a bunch of guys having fun. We have Emily in the corner right here.
Yeah,
No-
we do have.
nobody's
Emily's
introduced
not
Emily.
on camera. There is someone else in the studio.
I'm introducing somebody else's girlfriend to the show.
Good bet, wrong game. I think that's a fun bet.
Yeah, I do. I think it's a
If
fun
you
bet.
know any
Yeah.
nurses or teachers, call me.
I'm getting money now. I'm betting.
Female.
I'm gambling.
Yep, we're gambling.
I'm getting gals.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, no one can yell at me for gambling anymore.
That's true.
She's like, "Are you betting again?" She's like, "Yeah, I do hate money. That's called I call gambling investment. No, I don't have a 401k, but I have a FanDuel account. It's about the same thing for me. So
Yep.
Just goes the
We're
other
here.
way. 401k normally gradually goes up. The thing.
I
But
can't.
I'm getting better. All right.
Austin was talking to me last night because he's like, "Yeah, I'm doing a new thing for college football. I'm just putting in the max I'll lose this season, and I'm just working with it." And I was like, "That seems aggressive." And he's like, "No, I'll just put in X amount. I assume it's a couple thousand, whatever."
Mhm.
And then he's like, "I'm just doing actual unit gambling, whatever betting system. And once I hit that number, I'm out." I'm like, "That's great. If when you hit that number, you're out."
Yeah.
For me, if I were to do that, I'd lose 1,000 and be like, "Well, I gotta go get another 1,000."
Yeah, man. I would have lost another 1,000 anyway. Let's just put it in.
Like, we were talking about like biggest bets you ever lost or whatever last night, and
Well, he had that one where he was doing
Mets
the.
first five, he'd roll over $50, get it up to to 1,000.
Yeah.
Whatever. He had a Mets first five for 5,200.
Yeah.
Minus a half. Pete Alonso, bases loaded, first and third inning.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happened. They lost it. But he was like, and Adam's like, "Wow," and he's like, "And I lost it." And it's like, because you didn't actually lose $5,000. It was $50.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that you.
But then Adam's like, "But imagine if you won." And he goes, "I would have just bet 10,000 on the next thing."
Yeah,
Like, you don't
exactly.
take out, like,
Yeah.
the gambling, like we said, like it's not about winning.
And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260. If you're watching the Twitch stream, you just saw Josh go nuts for a second, very excited, because we have a new sponsor on the show.
Is that right?
We have a brand new sponsor, first week with the show, and Josh has been looking forward to me doing a live read for them. Josh loves when I do live reads.
Love a live read.
It's very funny.
Do I got a line?
Hey, we're doing a live read, and that's for our friends over at Myers Creek Brewing Company. Myers Creek, two fabulous locations at the Inner Harbor in Syracuse and the Palace that is in Cazenovia, is really, for my money, the best local brewed beer that you can get in this area. They've got anything you could want, 16 beers on tap at both locations at all times. Never less than 16 beers. And then they've also got a fridge, got cans. They sell it in 4-packs. You know, go. I know the Inner Harbor a lot of times runs like a BOGO deal.
Ooh.
Saw it a couple weeks ago when I was there, and I should have taken them up on it because they had my personal favorite, Diplomatic Strategery. They had that buy one get one free for 4-packs.
Nice smooth IPA.
Great hazy IPA. So is the old Velvet Fog.
Can't get enough of that Velvet Fog.
I know that's your personal favorite.
Love it.
Pat, have you ever been down to Myers Creek?
I actually haven't. Yeah, for the listeners, I'm not local here anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just, I'm back home seeing the family, but I might have to go try what's it called,
Diplomatic Strategery.
Yeah, I might have to try that because it sounds like something to be up my alley.
Yeah, they've a lot of great IPAs. They've got stouts, sours, their traditional Pilsner floating on by.
Yeah.
They also, I can never remember the name of it, and this is bad, but they have a cream ale, which is very good as well. If you are like Josh, a Rochester man, like a little Jenny Screamer, and they've got a great cream ale as well. So make sure to check out our friends at Myers Creek Brewing Company, the official bar and beer of Outside the Box Score with me, Mark Rowlands.
We love it.
There we go. There's your live read, Josh.
We love it.
That's radio. This is real radio.
Josh came on the Man-Child show last week because I was hosting. The Man-Child wasn't there, so he was like, "Just get whoever you want to be your co-host." And when I start doing their live reads, he just gets so excited.
I love it.
It's called support, guys.
Yeah, Myers Creek, also one of their sponsors, also the official.
I was asking
bar.
for live. I was asking for live reads the very first week I came in here. Your first week on the show, I'm like, what are we reading? You're like, I don't have any sponsors.
Yeah,
You're
that
like,
was before I
what
had
do we got?
sponsors.
Who we doing? We got to
Wait,
practice a couple.
Are you responsible for getting your own sponsors?
Yeah, I saw my own advertising.
Nice. Okay, nice.
Wait,
Well,
speaking of,
entrepreneurial
if anyone's
spirit.
listening,
Yeah,
if
sure,
anyone's
call them.
listening, I will gladly put your ads on my show. That's
Write me a check.
Right.
I'll say anything.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
I will shill for you. There is no problem at all in me doing that. Josh, I wanted to ask you because we were just talking in the break a little bit about about Kyle Shanahan and San Francisco 49ers because they ended up trading Trey Lance to the Dallas Cowboys. You are, of course, a Cowboys fan.
That's right.
What are your thoughts?
This is business. This is strictly business. This is not Trey Lance. Is never going to play. And honestly, to the Dak haters like me, I'll still be rooting for Cooper Rush to come into games and not Trey Lance. Trey Lance is the third string quarterback. He will be the third string quarterback. Cooper Rush has solidified the second place, especially after last year. He came in, he won games.
Yeah.
That's what he does. He's good. He knows the system. He can win games for the Cowboys. You don't need Trey Lance. This is a bargaining chip. Dak's contract's coming up. They're looking for an extension. And if you don't play good enough, we got a young kid that we're going to be fine with. You were a fourth rounder who replaced our franchise quarterback, and now we have another one. So, that's all this is, I think. This is just telling Dak, go out there and win. We'll pay you. If not, we got a guy. So that's all
Jerry
that is.
Jones. Love Jerry Jones.
It's cutthroat. He does not care. He held out our best player for the last 10 years, Zach Martin. He let him hold out over $5 million, which
Notre
is
Dame, man.
dropping the can. Yeah, true. Big
Notre Dame, man.
Yep. Probably
Probably the best guard in football, or one of them. He just, he was willing to not let him play over like $3 or $4 million. So that's, it's just what you get with Jerry.
I'm getting real tired of holdouts, man.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I'm just getting it's specifically from running backs. And how many times has it worked for a running back?
Well, look at Dalvin Cook. He ends up going, and the Jets are paying this guy like $8 million. I mean, if Josh Jacobs wanted to go leave, he could have gotten $10 million from the Jets. I mean, what are we doing? Just leave.
Yeah,
if you want to
Jets
leave,
stink.
just leave.
That's my take. Jets stink, dude.
Jets stink.
Jets stink.
I've said this before. I don't know why, but in my opinion, there is not a less interesting team than the New York Jets.
I don't think that's fair.
Well,
entirely.
Since getting Aaron Rodgers and all that, they've finally become somewhat interesting. But for the last 10 years,
I think the Jets were even fun last year.
Yeah.
Like before Breece Hall went down, they were exciting.
They were quite exciting.
extent,
But it's just I got so burnt out about talking about a team that you just knew every year was going to win 4 games.
I love that. I hate the Jets, so it's like it's fine with
That's
me.
fair.
And obviously, I live in New York City, so it's like I have to deal with Jets fans who are like out of their minds all the time.
Yes.
Just like I think Aaron Rodgers is good. Don't get me wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but like it was either he's going to go play for the Jets or he's going to retire. And it's like when you have those two decisions, it usually doesn't pan out great.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's great, but also at the same time, it's like I don't know. Is it really? I think the expectations for the Jets are like a little high.
They're like honestly. What number team are they in terms of popularity?
Popularity?
Like countrywide? Like overall?
Or in New York?
Oh, in New York? Oh, in terms of like all the teams?
Yeah.
Third?
They're probably behind the Bills and the Giants.
No, I mean
they might be behind the Mets too.
No, I mean
out of
every
all 30
team.
teams? Oh.
Wait.
No, every New York team.
Oh,
so
yeah. Rangers too.
Rangers.
Yeah.
Rangers, Knicks.
I mean, you got the Nets. I mean, they're bigger than the Nets.
They're bigger than the Nets, but you got the Yankees, the Mets, the Giants, the Knicks, the Rangers. They're like the 6th or 7th most popular team in New York.
I will say they're probably 4 because it definitely goes Yankees, Mets, and that could be interchangeable depending on if one team is like significantly better than the other. Then Knicks are always going to be 3.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, because it's the Knicks, and then maybe the Jets. But it's also
are they more popular than the Giants?
But it depends. Right now, yes.
Yeah.
But it's like if one team is significantly better than the other one, it will flip flop. That's the thing about New York. New York fans are fair weather fans.
Yeah,
they really are because there's just so much going on in everybody's lives. I mean, that's everywhere, but it's like New York, everything's going on so quickly that like it's tough to like focus on like one thing at a time. So if something's like really good, people are gonna be all about it. Like for like when the Nets had like Kyrie and KD, it's like.
There was a buzz about the Nets.
There's a big buzz about the Nets. Now nobody cares at all.
No.
Barclays Center is cool though, so check that out.
Check it out. One of the biggest arenas in the world. Check it out.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
I'll check out the Barclays.
It's pretty cool.
Hey,
we get
this
an ad for
li-
them?
little
Library for
little
Barclays?
little place down in Brooklyn.
You
It's,
may have heard of it.
it-
Hosted multiple massive events.
Yeah, it's
Bars.
you might not know about it though. It's called
Yeah.
the Barclays Center. Check it out.
Hey, I'm just here for Rex.
Still, what's the most popular stadiums in New York? It's not even. Is that top 3? Probably not.
No,
Probably
Well,
not.
There's really only 4 stadiums in New York, really.
MSG.
MSG,
one, obviously.
Yankee Stadium, Citi Field,
and
and Barclays
Do you
Center.
count?
Yeah.
Do you count
No.
the new Islanders one? on the
That's
island?
Long Island.
yeah, that's the
But
island.
the Coliseum, I would have put ahead of it.
Yes, the
The old
Coliseum.
Coliseum, I would have put
Well,
ahead.
I'm
of
not
that.
counting MetLife stinks. I don't know if there's any Jets or Giants fans listening. To
Yeah,
this.
but that's
I'm not
it's also
counting.
in New Jersey. It doesn't
Right.
count.
So we're not counting the island. That's what I was saying. We're
Yeah.
not counting the
It's
UBS
on Long
Arena.
Island.
Yeah.
It's New
Oh.
York.
It's not New York.
It's on Long Island.
Well,
What?
we can talk about Long Island
Okay.
off the air. Off the air. I have thoughts.
Speaking of off the air, we got to take one more time out, so we're going to do that right now. Come back, wrap things up here on Outside the Box Score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse on the Score 1260.
The Score 1260's Maggie and Perloff are must-listen radio. Esteemed sports analysts Maggie Gray and
Long Island stinks.
All right, turn it down.
I
That's
need
it.
a Long Island woman. That's what I need, dude. Someone who's just gonna be. I need a woman who's gonna be really mean to me.
Some old guinea. who's
Long
just-
Island woman, dude.
All right.
That's what I need.
Um,
Someone who's gonna keep me in line.
speaking about Barclays, are filling out things. Are you guys going to see the boss on the night on the 7th?
Yeah, I literally offered
Yeah,
a ticket
yeah,
yesterday.
he offered me a ticket, so I will be going.
Let me know.
Yeah, you want
It's
to
a
come?
weekday, isn't it?
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Dude,
All right.
It's the opening night of football.
Yeah, if you want to stick around that weekend, my parents host. My dad's like one of the people who runs the Irish Fest here in Syracuse.
Oh, okay. It's that weekend.
Yeah, it's Irish Fest weekend.
Yeah,
That's
are we-
right.
Are the mics on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you can drink for free.
What
so.
is it? Okay, sounds good. Maybe I will.
Let me know.
Plum Bum says Long Island is only good for their iced tea.
Listen, I need a woman there.
I don't
who's
even
mean to
I don't
me.
even know if I agree with that. I'm not a big Long Island iced tea guy.
Our friends can really powder a couple Long Islands to get the night going.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Adam
something.
strikes me as a guy that'll have a Long
I
Islander
think the
too.
first night I saw Adam really getting trashed, he had like 7.
I'm just
like
gonna.
a
I'm holding the
lot.
mic like this from now on.
You
I'm in
do
full
that all
control.
the
I'm in
time.
full control.
Like you're scared of it. Like you just gotta, you gotta reel it in.
We're having fun over here.
Mm.
Like
Yes.
literally, dude. This probably sounds great. Chat, let me know what are we thinking about in the chat today. What are we thinking about?
What's on everyone's mind?
Adam
anything.
talking about gambling. Adam goes, by the way, what game was that guy talking about with the touchdown field goal? Any game. Any game. We were talking about Notre Dame, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it for that game. Do it for a game where both teams could score. Probably.
I mean, we're having fun. I don't-
By the way, which game
By the
was
way,
he
I know
talking
it was
about?
kind of funny, but plus 8,000. I mean, that's pretty big odds. That's a guy who looks for the payout. That's a different gambler than what I.
well, yeah, my brother is a different type of gambler.
Oh yeah.
just looking for the big hit.
Like I had a talk with the IRS type of gambler.
Oh, I remember. I
Yeah.
heard all about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Way
chat,
to
keep
go.
that between us.
Yeah, chat, that didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
Love it. What a guy.
Dude, if you work for the IRS, you did not hear that.
You're a
And
scam.
also, what are you doing
You work for
listening to
the
this?
IRS?
Go
What a
work.
dork. Yeah, you're a
What are you
dork,
doing? Yeah,
dude. You care about people's money? Shut
actually,
up.
you suck.
the hell
yeah.
out of
All right.
Yeah.
Get off.
Mark's gonna shut the mics off again because he's trying to silence us.
No, I'm gonna shut the mics off again because we're about to come back.
Brother Mark.
And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260. You guys keep saying things after I put my headphones on and I don't hear what it is, and then I just see you laughing maniacally over there.
We're doing that on purpose.
We're trying to get you to break.
Yeah, I know
love-
you are.
By the way, Pat just now, there's been donuts sitting here all the time.
Yeah.
Pat just now was like, what's in here?
Yeah,
2 minutes left to go on the show. About to leave.
No,
He's like,
we won't tell you where it's
"Maybe
from. No
donut."
free ads, but yeah.
no free ads unless they want to sponsor me,
Well,
please.
yeah, actually. The donut
please-
shop downtown. What's
Yeah,
that?
a very specialized donut shop
Mhm.
shop downtown. If you want to sponsor me, I'd love to. Love your product. Had a very nice donut when we came in today.
You should get sponsored by the new dispensary down in downtown.
That would be quite funny,
That'd be fun.
especially as not a weed guy.
That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, true.
Yeah, that'd
Like,
be fun.
I just say, from what I hear, it's great.
It's awesome. I walked in there yesterday. No free ads, but
Mhm.
check it out.
I'm here for the Rex.
It's fun that we can actually just like talk about that now, though.
True.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like when gambling became legal. All of a sudden, you can just openly talk about sports gambling on the air. It was
Yeah,
fantastic.
because you always kind of talked about it. It was weird because like nobody was
Yeah.
actually in on it.
Yeah.
Or you weren't. So, but
You know, it would be like, you know, if anyone out there is considering doing this,
If
which
I
you
was a betting man,
shouldn't,
yeah.
it was all a bunch of bull. But such is sports radio. It's all just a bunch of bull. Anyway, that wraps it up for us. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Pat. Pleasure to have both of them in studio. We'll be back next week, same time, same channel, 11 a.m. right here on the Score 1260. Peace.